Hey, you Stygian Dogs, it's March 25th, and this marks the release of issue number 30 of Conan the Barbarian from Titan Comics and Heroic Signatures. Titled Ghosts and Echoes Part 2, Trail of the Warrior, Jim Zub and Doug Braithwaite present their next entry in an arc that had commenced with a curiously Conan-free first issue. Readers will certainly be eager to see what comes next. We'll take our usual thorough look at the book, but first, while you go out and buy it, let's recap the happenings in issue number 29, and then check out this month's covers. Born a runt in the Hyrcanian steppes, he's an unlikely survivor, worthless and weak, tormented by a presence that's asleep but always watching. His path is a twisted one, from the whet stone honing his ever-thirsty blades to frightening familicide, and a new home found with the children of the woeful eye. Now a man, we find him in the Red Wastes, east of Shem, where a priestess tasks their assassin, the son of the Tooth, to find Conan. Here are this month's covers. Cover A is from Evangel. Doug Braithwaite gives us cover B. Here's Stephen Green's cover C. And finally, cover D is by Kyle Hotz. Now, onto the issue itself. And here we go. I'll flip through the book, present a few close-ups of panels. I'll try not to read too much verbatim, but I will outline the general plot and happenings. I want you to be curious and to grab your own copy. Seriously, I implore you, buy these fantastic comments. I want to give you a sense of how things look and to convey my excitement and a few summary thoughts. But be warned, if you want a pure reading experience, and I know you do, I would caution you about spoilers. If inclined, feel free to skip ahead to the conclusion. My review there will be spoiler-free. On the inside cover is an advertisement for Shaun Hamill's Solomon Kane's Suffer the Witch. I've yet to pick this up. I've been a little disappointed with the last two Conan novels. Let me know in the comments if this one is worth my time and my hard-earned money. After that, ad credits for the teams at Heroic Signatures and Titan Comics. Turning the page, the Numidian Chronicles, a map for wayfinding, and the on-the-road King's summary of events thus far. The assassin tracks his quarry. Fragments of the physical world point the way, but the son of the Tooth sees much more. On the trail of the warrior. Ghosts and Echoes Part 2, Grim Jim Zub writer, Doug Braithwaite artist, Diego Rodriguez color artist, Rascally Richard Starkings and Comicraft's Titanic Tyler Smith, lettering, and Calamitous Chris Butera editor. Remnants of the spirit, moments etched in time, lead the way to Conan of Samaria. Over plains and meadows, rain-whipped gorges and mist-swallowed fields, the hunter emulates to understand his prey, the man who slew Tulsa Doom. A man not of the mystic arts or a warrior blessed by ancient gods, simply a man who now wanders in Coraja as a mercenary. Dangerous, yes, strong and stony as is his Sumerian stock, but not the kind to thwart the reign of doom. Not but a barbaric brute built for brawling, confident, careless, and crude. The sun could slip through the crowd and slay the Sumerian, but 'tis the prize of Conan's eye tooth that he seeks. The deed will yet wait. He'll act at night, prepared to do battle against the barbarian and his bodyguards. But no, he finds the man distracted in a moment of passion, baffling that this is the one who causes so much dread within the children of the woeful eye. He could end it here and now, but will not till he understands this man and his methods. In the morning, there is more to witness. Confronted with a threat, Conan's smile says, "Well met." Should this mercenary be Conan's end, at least the woeful eye would see revenge. Instead, the Sumerian explodes into action. The newly found foe is felled in an explosion of wood and bone, and his comrades join the fray. At least, they try to best the barbarian, but these spiteful sellswords stand no chance against one whose fury's been honed on the battlefield. So this is the quality of the man who fearlessly confronted Tulsa Doom and split the Black Stone cult asunder. A worthy foe indeed. The way the barbarian moves between murder and mirth, it's audacious, admirable, infuriating. A surreptitious strike could see the sun silence the Cimmerian, but such a warrior deserves death in bloody battle, blade to blade. But wait, the tables have turned. Conan demands the killer make his move. This is not the first assassin to have tracked the Cimmerian. An outsider sticking to the shadows is easily spotted. Conan has been waiting, prepared for ambush or a forthright fight. Assessing the assassin and the trophies from his kills, bloodbath beckons as the barbarian grins. For it is time to send someone to hell. To be continued. And so ends issue number 30 of Conan the Barbarian from Titan Comics and Heroic Signatures. I enjoyed this one. It's another change of pace from issue number 29, the narrative shifting its style with the Son of the Tooth serving as observer. In these first two issues of the arc, we really see a crescendo building. And, it's pretty clear at the end that the next issue is going to see some sort of pretty cool climax. I'm also struck by how these last two issues are, pretty easy jump-on points for new readers. I wonder if this is intended. It is kind of a nice sweet spot in this series to try to get new readers aboard. If the action in the next issue plays out as I suspect it might, these new readers are going to be well rewarded for their time. Join me in the conclusion for a spoiler-free summary review. Opposite the final page, the sword is drawn, the battles rage, and the legend is reforged. It's an advertisement for the new Savage Sword of Conan Omnis and the reforged color restorations. I do recommend all of these. Savage Sword is certainly where it's at. Turning the page, we come to part 30 in Jeffrey Shanks' series of essays. This one is titled The Land of Shem, Crossroads of the Hyborian Age. The essay is prefaced with a quote from Robert E. Howard's Queen of the Black Coast. They cited the coast of Shem, long rolling meadowlands with the white crowns of the towers of cities in the distance, and horsemen with blue-black beards. Jeff begins by identifying Shem as one of the most vital cultural and geographic intersections in Howard's fictional Hyborian Age. A land of contrasts, it's divided between lush, pastoral meadowlands of the west and the grim ruins and sparse oases found in the eastern deserts. As subjects of Stygia, the Shemites mastered advanced arts of civilization, metallurgy, textiles, architecture, and the like. The Stygian hold on the lands was shattered in a holocaust of fire and blood as the Hyborian barbarians surged southward. The Shemites would emerge a free people in a fractured collection of independent city-states. Shanks tells us that Shem is loosely modeled on the early Iron Age Near East, reflecting the fierce independence and mercantile sophistication of cultures like the Canaanites, Israelites, and Assyrians. Its city-states of walled urban centers facilitated trade between the northern kingdoms and the south, while the port in Ascalon was the primary hub for seaborne trade. Inland, its city-states represented the pinnacle of craftsmanship. Of note is Akbatana, and it's renowned for forging a steel of superior quality to any found in the west. While Shemites adopted some of Stygia's material culture, they largely rejected the worship of Set, and instead revered the likes of the bull god Anu and the fertility goddess Ishtar. Shem city-states were defended by its legendary archers and the Asuri, the latter being a professionalized class of hereditary mercenaries, often being the only force standing between Shem and the predatory ambitions of the Kothic kings and Stygian sorcerers. Beyond the cities, the eastern deserts of Shem remained a place of mystery and ancient horrors, its lands belonging to an elder world of Stygian priests and dark sorcerers. Most of the Shemites we encounter in Howard's stories are merchants or mercenaries and are often secondary characters, but it is Belit, the pirate queen of the Black Coast, who is Howard's most famous Shemite. Jeff closes by stating that during Conan's time, Shem has mostly transitioned from a land of nomadic clans to one of industrious merchants and traders, its caravan routes winding through pastoral meadows and the oasis of the eastern desert. And in this current tale, we see that landscape as Conan is tracked across Shem by a new relentless foe, the Son of the Tooth. As always, Jeffrey Shanks' essays are a must-read. Do check out my latest live stream with Jeff and Dan from Conan Chronology, wherein we ramble on about all things Howard and Conan. After the Shanks essay, we come to this month's covers gallery. And on the back cover, behold the finest merch of the Hyborian Age. It's the Heroic Signatures online store. Grab all of your official swag at heroicsignatures.store. Following an issue devoted to introducing Conan's new foe, the Son of the Tooth, issue number 30 sees Jim Zub shift to a storytelling approach familiar to readers of the Frozen Faith arc. Much like issues number 13 and 14, where the narrative is framed through Atali as an observer, this installment presents events through the eyes of the Son of the Tooth. This makes the current issue, along with number 29, a striking change of pace. We got a fulsome introduction, and now it's followed by a measured build toward a crescendo that will likely give way to another narrative shift in next month's installment. The gradual escalation and mounting tension in this first half of the arc presages a climactic release in the second. One can easily imagine a full-bore battle unfolding in the next issue, something that may well surpass anything seen thus far. This promise is all the more alluring when you consider that the unique narrative approaches in issue number 29 and 30 make either of these issues perfect and rewarding jump-on points for new readers. If the action in issue number 31 is as portended, Jim Zub and Doug Braithwaite are going to blow people's minds. No pressure, fingers crossed. With issue number 30 of Conan the Barbarian, Jim Zub again shifts perspective with confidence, using a slow, deliberate build to raise tension and anticipation. Doug Braithwaite's art matches that tone, nailing a sense of curiosity and looming violence, with the final page letting us know that, oh yeah, it's on. If the arc pays off as promised, this creative team is on the verge of something truly unforgettable. Thanks for watching, liking, consider subscribing, and until next time, take it easy, you Stygian Dogs.